Welcome back to another episode of the Otaku Crew podcast. I'm your host, Wiseman Lee, and thank you so much for joining on today's session. You can find us on most podcast platforms. So we are on Google Podcasts, Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. So please follow us there. And we are also on YouTube. Our channel is called the Otaku Crew. If you find us on YouTube, please subscribe to our channel if you like our content, and please like our videos too. It helps with the algorithm. And so today's episode, we're on episode 36. And so I would like to introduce my panelists. I have some members of the actual anime podcast with me. So I would like to introduce you to, first off, Good Kid. How's it going, Good Kid?
Oh, everything is fine. I'm happy to be here with you all, and let's get into some anime discussions. And yeah, happy Sunday. Hope everybody's doing good, and let's go.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And then also we have T, his co-host.
Yo. What's up, y'all? Happy to be here. Excited to be here. Happy Sunday, like Good Kid said, and I'm just ready to get into it.
All right, perfect. So for today's episode 36, is the Yu Yu Hakusho Netflix review. So I know we're kind of late. I'll be honest, guys. I saw the series back in the December of 2023, so it's been a while. So hopefully it's still fresh in my mind that I remember some stuff and we can get into it. So so we're doing the Yu Yu Hakusho Netflix review. So let me give a brief description of the series for our audience if they do not know. So Yu Yu Hakusho, the story revolves around Yusuke Uramishi, a delinquent junior high school student who spends his days getting into fights. And so one day he dies after saving a child in a car accident and then gets resurrected to serve as an investigator of the supernatural world. I think that's pretty good enough. Is there anything else you guys want to add for like brief synopsis of this?
No, that works.
That was the gist.
That was good. Yep.
I literally took it off of Wikipedia, so I'm like, yo, you know what? This works for me too.
Yeah. If I'm wrong, Wiki's wrong.
That's not my problem.
Exactly. So we're gonna get into it. So let me ask you guys this: who here has watched the anime Yu Yu Hakusho, the original back in the 80s, I believe, right?
Both of us have.
Yes. So yep. So
Go
this
ahead.
was a So this was more of a 90s anime when it was released, but I've watched this show probably about 6-7 times, and I put this as my all-time favorite of all-time anime. It's always a toss-up between Dragon Ball Z or Yu Yu Hakusho, but I lean towards Yu Yu Hakusho as far as story, characters, soundtrack, everything overall. So yeah, I am a big fan. I got signed Funko Pops, everything.
Wow.
So
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I was gonna ask. So did Yu Yu Hakusho and Dragon Ball Z came around like the same time? Like they were competing against each other, or like?
So Dragon Ball. Now, if you're talking about the OG Dragon Ball, that was
Like
more
OG,
the 80s.
Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z?
OG Dragon Ball was earlier than Yu Yu Hakusho, if I had to guess.
Yeah. So Dragon Ball Z was, yes, it was somewhere in between the 90s. So it was Dragon Ball, Yu Yu Hakusho, and Sailor Moon. Those were like the 90s big three.
Well, don't forget,
at the time.
you also had Pokemon there too, so that kind of also
That
was
too.
there. Yeah, so there was a
Pokemon
lot
was playing.
there was a lot of 90s anime that were trying to fight for the top top pick, but yeah, Yu Yu Hakusho, it's not to be feared. Also, it has its fan base too, like Good Kid said. All right, so this is Yu Yu Hakusho Netflix review, and they only had like 6 to 8 episodes, and so let's get into it, guys. How do you think this adaptation was for Netflix adapting Yu Yu Hakusho? General thoughts, I say.
Good Kid, you want to go first, Good Kid, or you want me to?
Okay, so I'll go first.
All right.
Set the tone, bro.
Okay, so do y'all want me to knock out the good or the bad?
I just want to get your general thoughts before we go into the good and the bad.
General thoughts.
Mhm.
General thoughts. Overall view of this show. So it was 5 because I finished the show last night. It was 5 episodes. Overall, this show, I give it a.
Well, you don't have to give your rating.
6.
Oh, you're gonna give your rating? Okay.
I was not expecting that.
Okay, I was gonna leave that for the end too, but it's
I'm
okay.
gonna give it
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a rating, but overall view, I thought it was okay.
Okay.
It has some good aspects,
Yeah.
but coming from a big fan, there was some critiques that I had.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, I give it an okay rating overall.
All right. Fair enough. T, we'll get to you, and then we'll get into it.
Okay, I'm not. I haven't watched the show 6 to 7 times like my great friend Good Kid has, but I have watched it. My overall thoughts on the show, the live action, it's okay. It's okay. Like Good Kid said, I don't want to get into good and bad just yet, but there were a few things that could have been done better.
Mhm.
Few things that were done pretty good. I'm not gonna give my rating like just yet, but I think overall it was okay. It was an okay adaptation.
All right, cool. So my take is like, okay, so I'm not hardcore fan as you guys are for the Yu Yu Hakusho. I never watched the OG anime though. I've seen clips. I remember when I was young, I would see clips, some TV episodes here and there, of course, whenever it came on. What was it, Toonami or Adult Swim at the time? During
Yep.
the
Yep,
channels.
Tsunami.
Yeah, exactly. So I would see some episodes here and there, but then again, that was a long time ago. So again, I do not know much of the material. So for me, the Netflix adaptation is my actually gateway to like watching this anime. So because of that,
Oh, interesting. Okay.
yes, because of that, coming in with a clean slate, I want to say that I kind of enjoyed the show more than you guys did. But then again, I didn't have any of the OG anime.
Yeah.
Like I hadn't consumed that content at the time. So going into this live action, I thoroughly enjoyed myself. I thought it was pretty good. I wouldn't say it was
Mhm.
great, but I enjoyed myself, and I enjoyed myself enough that I would like to see maybe more if they were to continue. So that's how I
Yeah.
feel about the show.
For sure.
So
And it's one of those things where it's like if you watched the show, you're kind of gonna have like a biased look at it because obviously like
mhm,
live action can't do everything that was in the anime.
correct.
But if this is your very first time looking at Yu Yu Hakusho, this is your only source material, so it's like I kind of gotta love it. Like this is my introduction to it, so it's definitely interesting seeing like all the different takes online and stuff like that versus people who like actually watch the source material like 4 or 5 times and they know everything about it versus the people who this is like their introduction to it. Kind of like the One Piece live action anime. Like a lot of people got put on to One Piece.
Speaking of
Yep.
that,
A lot of people got put on One Piece.
I got you. Speaking of that, let me get into this sideway topic before we get into the bad and the good of Yu Yu Hakusho. So seeing how Netflix is kind of all into adapting a bunch of live action anime adaptation, they're so far have done what Cowboy Bebop and One Piece,
Yep.
right? So right now they're one for one because like we know how Cowboy Bebop turned out. Like it got trashed pretty hard.
Yep.
And then
Yeah,
One Piece,
pretty
however,
bad.
but One Piece, however, it was amazing. We already covered that on our
Mhm.
channel, and you for all our audience, you could of course check out our One Piece review before you done that. But like that was a breath of fresh air. I would like to say it was something that gave us hope. We're like, you know what, there can be good anime adaptations if done correctly with passion and
Mhm.
love, of course. So where do
Right.
you guys
For
think?
sure.
Perfect. So where do you guys think that Yu Yu Hakusho kind of falls in? Like we're not hearing much buzz around it in the Netflix community. Do you think it's as bad as what's it called, Cowboy Bebop, or in between One
So
Piece and Cowboy Bebop, or getting close
Go
to
ahead.
so
Good
One
kid.
Piece content
so
level? Yeah,
no.
yeah, go on.
So I would put Yu Yu Hakusho right under One Piece. Now I can tell you it's better than Cowboy Bebop.
Mhm.
Because Cowboy Bebop is another one of my favorite shows. It's in my top 5. And the way they did that show with some things, again,
Okay.
they have some good stuff, but it just didn't hit, unfortunately. But with this show, it did have some good action scenes where I was like, "Oh, okay, this is great. I'm invested." The way that these characters are pulling off these different moves, and it's like, okay, the CGI was definitely on point with this. Some of the stuff I will say, I was looking at the fight scenes. Some of the stuff in this show, the choreography was a little bit better than in One Piece.
I was gonna say the same thing, bro.
Well,
The
Same thing.
choreography.
I'll say this: One Piece is not really
Yeah.
known as a fighting show, though, right? It's more of an adventure action show. You know,
Mhm.
it's again One Piece. Here's the thing: One Piece
That's-
to One Piece. I didn't watch the anime either. Oh man, I'm you know, for a podcast
Okay.
that starts anime, it's like we don't watch our OG shows.
You're trash.
But like, yeah, no,
It's
I'm
all good.
No, you're good.
But for One Piece, going into that, also live action and Netflix, that I kind of was drawn into because it had good character arcs, it had depth, it had like emotions, so
Mhm.
like
Yes.
you could relate to the characters. Now with Cowboy Bebop, unfortunately, like I don't know, like the only good thing about that was like John Cho playing as Spike. That was great casting. The support
Yes.
casting,
Yep.
support casting was pretty
Yep.
good too, except there was controversy on the female. What's it called? The female who was doing the
Faye.
Faye. So there's that, but you know, the thing,
Mm.
like I think we already covered this. Cowboy Bebop, it just had weird tones going in, and it was kind of ridiculous. And you know, the creator wasn't involved in that in the adaptation at the time. I'm not sure for Yu Yu Hakusho if the creator was kind of involved, if he had notes to give, or was kind of overseeing the production, like how for One Piece, what's his name, the creator Oda Sensei was like overseeing that
Yeah,
because that was his
Ichiro
baby.
Oda.
Yeah, Oda was like, "Yo, that's my baby. I'm gonna make sure that you do this justice." And they worked
Yep.
collaboratively, and it was great. So for Yu Yu Hakusho, do we know if
Yeah.
the creator was involved in some way?
So we did kind of do some research on this a while ago when we
Mhm.
first got our photo stills of like the characters and the actors and stuff like that.
Mhm.
If I remember correctly, I don't think the author was that involved, or at least not as involved as Oda. They obviously
Okay.
oversaw a few things, but it's not like Oda where he like critiqued every episode, like no, change this scenery and things like that.
Gotcha. So that's it. I mean, for Netflix, it's like they'll try to do the adaptation with or without the creator involved, and you know, sometimes it's just hit and miss too. Right now, it was a hit for One Piece, not so much for Cowboy Bebop. So that's it. So I feel bad for you, good kid, because all your favorite animes, Netflix is pretty much trashing it and making it not so superior quality where it should be.
Man.
That's rough, buddy.
Yep.
Yeah. Unfortunately, and Cowboy Bebop was a big letdown. But One Piece, it gave me hope. Like you said, One Piece laid down the blueprint of how live action should be when it comes to story and pacing of these characters. So we're getting somewhere.
All right, cool. So then let's get into it. So let's get into the good and the bad of Yu Yu Hakusho. Where do you guys want to start?
Cool.
We can do good first.
All right, you can go ahead, T.
I want to start off on a good note before Yeah, so a lot of the good stuff about the Yu Yu Hakusho live action are obviously the choreography, like Good Kid was saying earlier. Like when Yusuke was fighting Goki, Guki, yeah. I get the pronunciation like funny, but
Which
don't-
one was
don't
Goki
kill me in
again?
the comments.
I'm
But
trying to
yeah, when he
recall.
was fighting him, the one with the horns that he fought like in the junkyard, scrapyard.
Oh yeah.
area.
Okay, the Red Devil guy. Yeah, that's it. Okay, cool.
Yeah, that choreography, like when he threw the bike
Mhm.
and Yusuke was still in the car and the bike like crashed and the wheel was like spinning in front of Yusuke's face. Crazy moment. I said, "Dang, man, dang, that's
Yeah,
that's
that was
fire."
dope.
And there's a lot of scenes that made me like, okay, they did that justice. Like when obviously Kuwabara is hitting the rock trying to break it with a wooden sword and he finally does it and unlocks his spirit sword and he's like, I did it, I finally did it. There's definitely good moments like that where you can see the love for the characters kind of show out and the personality of the characters kind of show out. So a good thing for me is probably the good choreography, the action scenes are on point, and a little bit of the character building is there as well. But I'm
No.
going to talk about the other side of the character building a little while later. So
Okay. You know, on that note, I just want to point this out too. Like, I agree with you. The actions in the action scenes, the action choreography in the show has been really spot on. I don't know who their
Yep.
stunt team is
Yep.
behind this, but
Facts.
they
Yep.
did pretty good. And CGI is pretty on point. You know, there's some points where you're just like, it looks weird, but then with the TV budget you have, it makes sense, but
Mhm.
it's pretty good. Like they maxed out whatever they could with the budget they had. But
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
the interesting point though is that I like the rivalry between Yusuke and Kurabasa because it's not your typical rivalry that you see in anime shonen, right? Usually it's the
Mhm.
main character who's chasing after the rival antagonist like slash like that to like
Yeah.
catch up with him, right? Here's kind of the opposite. Yusuke, he's like, I don't want anything to do with you, Kurabasa. Leave me alone. But Kurabasa keeps chasing
Mhm.
him because he's like, I want to fight you and prove my worth and show everyone that I can actually kick their ass too.
Get away from me! Why are you chasing me? Stop it!
So it's kind of an interesting dynamic. They went like the reverse way, which I'm sure that's how it probably went in the anime show too. But like, I dig that. And I was like, wow, okay, that's something different. And not only that, the rival's kind of a goofball too, but he literally put in the work in the show to show him that, like, he belongs with the group and he can actually help out and fight the ghouls, demons.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, for sure. I will say when you get a chance to watch the actual anime, don't sleep on Kuwabara because that man he is a key player in the later episodes. So
All right.
he might not be up with Yusuke as far as power, but he can definitely hold his own in some situations.
Mhm.
No,
So
but we
he
saw
is definitely not a Krillin or a Yamcha of the group.
yeah, right. No, but that's the thing. We saw with the training arc, like at one point Yusuke is like, "Oh, what the fudge? This guy is about to surpass me." Like he's like, after Yusuke wasn't taking his training seriously, but Kurobawa is like, "Yeah, watch me, man. I'm gonna catch up to you."
Mhm.
Yep.
Sorry, his name is
Yep.
Kuwabara. I didn't keep saying Kurabara. Anyway,
Yes, Kuwabara.
Oh yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
Kuwabara. Yeah. Good kid.
Yeah. So for
Go ahead. Yeah. No, go ahead.
yeah. So for on the good side, yes, the choreography was on point, and even the way the characters used the weapons, I loved it. I loved Hiei with the sword, Yusuke
Mhm.
with the spirit gun, Kurama with the rose whip. Man,
Mhm.
the way Kurama was using the rose whip with combat, fire.
Yep.
It was fire. So when I saw the first episode, I didn't know what I was getting myself into. But when Yusuke got ran over, that's when I was like, okay, all right. So this is I could see some action. I could see they're not holding back because in the show or in the anime, you see Yusuke just get hit by a car.
Mhm.
In this live action, you see dude get rolled over. So I was not expecting
You're
that.
talking about the
So
accident, right?
they
Yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
Yeah, the
details,
accident part.
the accident. So that detail, they really want you to. This show is like, all right, we're not holding back anything as far as like action goes. With the spirit gun, I like the way they did that. I like the way when he charges it up, you see like the air it like expands and you see
Mhm.
him powering up and it gets like bigger. That's dope. My only critique, I wish that it's a little nitpicky.
Mhm.
My only critique, I wish they had the OG sound effect. That would be
Mhm.
so fire if they
Yep.
implemented that in. But yeah, other than that, the fight scenes, the characters, they did stay true to the character like look. Yusuke, he got the green
Green
Kuwabara
fit.
green fit on.
Oh
Hiei,
yeah, the costume
he's
was on point too, for sure. The
Yeah.
oh
wardrobe,
yeah,
man, the
yeah, yeah.
wardrobe fit, especially at the
Yeah,
end when they're
everybody's
wearing the colors. I'm like, wow.
Yep.
oh yeah, yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Everybody's wardrobe was dope. Um but yeah, that's definitely uh the good points of the show. Yeah, like yeah, the fight scenes, man. Those were epic. I was eating my popcorn. I was sitting up straight because I was like, I can't miss anything. This
Mhm.
is this is what Yu Yu Hakusho is. The fight scenes. Because Yusuke, he doesn't really know martial arts like that. If you really pay attention to how he
Just a brawler,
fights,
bro.
he's a
Bro
street
just throw his
fighter.
hands.
He's a
I said, do you wanna fight me? Do you wanna catch these hands? Bitch, I'll beat your ass.
Yeah, he doesn't know
Yeah.
any martial arts really techniques. Like he's just a brawler street fighter, and I love the way that they choreographed all this stuff.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I pretty much back in the same points as you guys. Like the fights is great and everything. What I want to ask was certain characters. No, yeah, certain characters like what's his name? Koenma. Does the dude really have a
Mhm.
pacifier
Yes,
in his mouth and he just sucks on that while speaking?
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, that's a thing.
But at the same time, it's not even a pacifier. It's just stuck in his mouth, and he just talks normally. And I'm like, I kind of wish there was a moment where he just like stops talking and he just sucks on it like a baby, you know?
Yeah.
But they didn't show that in the
Hang
show.
on, pinky break.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, I remember. So the spirit gun, yeah.
Yes.
yeah.
It's not so much as a diss though, but why does it kind of look like a Rasengan on his on his finger point? You know, because I was kind of expecting something different. Like I don't know how in the show the spirit gun went. It's kind of like a ball of light kind of shooting at you, right? Like an actual gun, like very condensed and just shoots at you. But here, what they do in the show is like they kind of show it as like a Rasengan on his finger, and he just blasts it.
Yeah.
Especially the size. Sometimes it goes big, like a massive Rasengan. So is that how normal it is in the show, or is that like a miss adaptation right there?
No, so they actually stayed true to how it looked and what it
Really?
was. So
Okay.
yeah, the spirit gun it shoots from the fingertips and it expands, and it's just like it's not even a ray. It's like a spirit. It's like kind of like a spirit bomb
Yeah.
or like a Rasengan, as you would say.
So it's like
But
a
yeah,
bomb. It
they
just
stay true to the yep.
call it spirit bomb, not spirit gun. Anyway, that's what I
No,
found
right?
interesting. Yeah, I found it interesting. I'm like, is that how it's supposed to be? It's like a Rasengan on your fingertip, but you know, if you say it, I'll take your word for it. If it's exactly adapted as it should be, then that means it's good. They did their due diligence. All right. Let me ask you guys this: Do you have a favorite character that when he was adapted to live action that it did justice to that character? Like any favorite moments maybe in the show that you liked?
Toguro. Toguro is
Which one? The big guy or the small guy? Because I got words for that too.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I say the big swole bodybuilder. That Toguro.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you, if you actually watch the show, that man is a problem. And they did perfectly at trying to like highlight just how much of a problem he is.
Oh yeah.
Like the moment where he was like looking at Kiko and all of them, he was like, the next thing that I shoot, they're gonna die. I hope you know that. And he had like his thumb ready to just shoot at him.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, they make him such a problem in the live action anime, and I love that. I love that. They didn't tone down his character at all. He's just as much of a menace in the live action as he is in the anime. So he definitely got a great adaptation.
All right, cool. What about you, good kid? Any favorite moments, favorite character in the show, favorite
Yeah.
episode, maybe?
I would just uh I'll really have to think about the episode, but as far as character wise, I know it's cliche, but I'm gonna have to go Yusuke.
Yeah, your boy,
Like
eh?
this is
Exactly.
you talking about my top. That's my guy. You talking about favorite characters of all time? I gotta put him up there with the way and I do not know the actor's name.
I have it
Should've
here.
looked him up
His name
before,
is
but he
Takumi
definitely
Kitamura.
Mhm.
okay, yep. He did really good with how to portray him because Yusuke, he is a cocky dude,
Hmm.
aggressive. He doesn't really give anything, like he doesn't care. Like he just wants to, if he sees a problem, he's gonna go after it. He's kind of like Luffy in a way. I don't care how many times you're gonna beat me, I'm still going to win in the end.
I have a better
Like
comparison.
keeps getting up.
Yeah,
Okay,
go on.
what's up?
No, well, I don't know if you guys are watching this, but Reacher. You kind of reminds me of Reacher now. I could see synonymous of that too. Reacher, I don't know if you guys are watching the Amazon show Reacher, but Reacher is a big, strong dude who pretty much wants to be left alone. But whenever he sees a
Mhm.
problem, he just has to be the heroic guy and fix that problem right away. So whenever he sees crime or bullying or whatever going on, he bashes the bad guy's head like that. So that kind of what reminds me then, if I had to make a comparison.
Okay, no, that's
I don't think I've watched Reacher, but I mean, hey, it definitely sounds like something I would watch. If it's just hands throwing.
Oh yeah, I mean the actor, he's a big dude, and like I enjoy him, in action because the way they write the character for him, it's amazing. Anyway, we're not talking about Reacher.
Yeah, Yusuke is he was portrayed really good. Botan, I did like Botan. Now I know how she can kind of come off a little bit annoying. At
Wait,
times.
sorry, who's Botan again?
How she was in the anime.
Yeah,
so Botan is the blue-haired. She's the Grim
blue-haired
Reaper.
angel girl, pretty much.
Is that the right hand of Koenma, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ah, she's kind of cute though. I like her.
Yeah. No, yeah, she's a good character. Yeah, she is in the anime, because I hate comparing this, but I've just seen this so many times. I have no choice. Like in the show, like in the anime, like you said, that's her. That's his right hand person, and Yusuke is the first person he sees, or she sees when he dies. So Botan definitely helps along with the continuation of the show. But I like how she was portrayed. I like how her like bubbly,
energetic kind of,
yeah. So that's
cute.
definitely
She's
her. So that actress played her really well.
No, I agree with you guys. All the actors that were portraying their characters, they did a very phenomenal job. Like, it's great casting too. I cannot like disagree. I cannot like find any negative points behind that too. So yeah, everyone did their good jobs. So I mean, for me, my favorite part probably of the whole series, like it's only one season right now, but favorite part was probably near the end when we get to the tournament where they're all fighting their adversary. That was peak like choreography fight perfection, because that I remember watching that in the OG anime episodes when we got to the tournament arc, right? So I was surprised that we were doing the tournament already in this first season. I was like, oh, we progress that quick.
Yeah,
to there.
it's one of the it's one of the things I got to talk about.
Okay, so
it's one of the things I got to talk about.
I feel like we're about to get into the negatives, but do you guys feel like that was kind of rushed going into that arc right away? Okay. Well, let's get into 100%. It. Let's go into our negatives. Yeah.
Let's just get into it, man. Let's just get into it.
But I just do want to say that it is my favorite like mini arc of the entire series. Though there's been great moments, of course. Sure. There's been very great moments, but just the fight leading up to the big fight with Toguro, amazing.
Yeah, for sure. No, just the general sentiment of it feeling rushed getting to the tournament arc so fast is something. It's definitely true. It's definitely true. Because if you think about it, if you really think about how long the Dark Tournament arc is, it's like it's a long arc, dude. It's a really long arc, and they tried to fit it into like 2 or 3 fights, and then a Dark Souls final boss fight. So, yeah, like okay, cool, but I feel like a lot of the world building, a lot of the character building, a lot of the more finer moments in the anime that got left out are it kind of sucks that they got left out. But obviously the main fight still plays, so that's a plus. But I just wish that they didn't get to it so quick. If that makes sense. Like they got to it quick and then they focused on it for like 2 episodes and then it was over. So I just wish they gave more love to the Dark Tournament arc. Even like leading up to it, it's kind of rushed too. Because if you think about it, like they meet Master Genkai, and then she's uninterested and stuff like that, and then she trains them for I don't know, like 40 minutes, 45 minutes, and then she says, "All right, get on your way." But in the plot point later on, when they're like, "Oh, we killed Genkai," it really doesn't feel like it hits the same. Because she was only on screen for 30 minutes, 35 minutes max. So it's like when they're trying to like stop from telling Yusuke like, oh, don't tell him that Genkai is dead because he'll overreact. It's like if he knew the woman for on screen 30 minutes, realistically, it was probably like 1 or 2 days where he was training with her. And we didn't see all the extra stuff that he did with her. It just didn't hit the same when you actually compare it to the real OG anime and all the moments that they had together and all the conversations that they had. So that's my main critique about just the entire show in general, is that it feels really rushed. really rushed. And even like some of the context between like Yusuke and Kawabara, like why are they rivals? It just felt, for me personally, this is me personally, but it felt like they kind of jumped into the rival trope, but didn't really explain the backstory or anything of like why they're rivals.
Why? 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 Why?
You mean the rivals?
Or anything like that. It's just Kawabara's.
You mean okay? So you mean the rivalry between Kuwabara and
yeah,
Yusuke?
Kawabara and Yusuke. Yeah, it just feels like it's kind of, here you go, like thrown in there. But if you actually watch the OG anime, like they definitely do have back and forth moments where it's kind of proving, yeah, there should be a rivalry there. And Ellis, correct me if I'm wrong, because I watched Yu Yu Hakusho like once or twice. I again didn't watch it like 6 to 7 times. So if there's anything that I'm missing from the live action that I just like didn't attribute to the OG anime. Okay, yeah. But that's my main critique is it just felt like super rushed. There was not like a proper time for build up.
Okay, cool. So I mean, so from what the complaint I'm hearing from you is that it was super rushed to get to that tournament arc, and the tournament arc was quite condensed that we didn't get to see all the great highlighted moments that we would have seen from the anime translated into live action.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Right. What about you, good kid? You're gonna have quite a bit of critiques.
All right, man.
Yep, I'm waiting for it.
All right, so let me dive in. Okay, so first things first. This show should have been 9 to 10 episodes.
Yep.
I wish the story was fleshed out more, because with the stuff that they gave us, yes, it was rushed. The pacing was definitely rushed. From episode 1 and 2, episode 1 and 2 was cool. It was like a build up of like, all right, here's what we got to go up against. Yusuke's now getting his rhythm. He's getting his powers. We're meeting Hiei and Kurama. We know what they're about. But this timeline and this story is all over the place.
All over the place?
Literally, it's all over the place. Like, you get stuff from the beginning, it doesn't show up to the end. And you get stuff from the ending, it shows up in the beginning. And I'm like, oh, that's not supposed to happen. So they definitely took pieces of stuff in the later show. They just added it in the beginning of the show.
Well, I mean, mind you, here's the thing. For when it comes to an adaptation, you cannot follow page by page when it comes to a book adaptation. You can't follow like
for sure. It's gonna be like a retelling kind of sort of. It can't do like one for one.
Yeah, definitely make it your own. But I'm telling you, if you watch the anime,
you're gonna see like, everything.
Yo, this was not supposed to happen this soon. Like it was so out of whack. You definitely.
It felt like a highlight reel. That makes sense. It felt like a Yu Yu Hakusho highlight reel from like episode 3 onwards.
Oh, really? Wow. Well, that's unfortunate.
Yes. Now from the outside looking in, like how you just watch this Netflix show. You only seen a little bit of the anime. I can see how you probably didn't pick up on any of the major stuff, because we were missing some arcs.
Yeah,
like when I tell you we were missing arcs.
I could kind of tell. Like I said, when we get to the tournament arc, I was like, oh, well, we got there quick, man. I was expecting this for the next season or so. I'm like,
and and so not just the tournament arc, but like there was
the
like
rescue arc,
arc to where it was Yusuke and Kuwabara. So you remember how in the live action they went up to, what was the I just had a brain fart. Genkai.
Yeah.
They went up to Genkai. It was supposed to be a whole tournament.
With Genkai?
It was supposed to be a whole it was supposed to be a whole mini tournament of who Genkai was supposed to train. Koenma did not sign up Yusuke to train with Genkai. Now he told him about Genkai, but he was supposed to get in the training to even become the apprentice. So he was supposed to have a little
like a prove yourself type thing.
Exactly.
Yep.
So another thing, they had the spirit ball form that was in Genkai that she gave to Yusuke. If y'all remember that.
Yep.
Okay, so Yusuke was supposed to be in pain, agonizing pain with torture, because that you talking about years of training with the Genkai and she just passes it on to Yusuke like that, he
Yep.
feels nothing. Yeah, that's where I was like, okay, this is
When was that moment again? Which episode we're talking about? Like exactly?
so I believe it was an
Like in the
episode.
live action,
Yeah.
Yes,
Did
it
that
was in
happen?
live action.
Yeah.
might have been like episode 2.
I
I want to
believe
say
it was in 3. I believe it
2
was
or
in 3
3.
when they were
Okay.
training with Genkai.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
if you
training.
remember,
Mhm.
if you remember when Yusuke, he was kind of like, all right, I'm trained up. I've honed my powers as a spirit detective. And then when the tournament was coming on, when they had that next mission, Genkai was like, all right, so I'm too old for this. So here's my power. I'm gonna give to you. So
And
she
that was
like
it. And
this is
that ended his training. He's like, all right, you're good. You're on your way. Good
exactly
luck.
yes.
Exactly. Yep.
But you're saying
With
there's more behind that, pretty much.
there's
It's
way
just
more
a
behind
lot of
that.
context that they missed out on because they chose either not to adapt it or just again like rush through it.
Okay, so they have to go watch the anime to see what was
Yeah,
the
like
more
Yusuke was
context
supposed
behind
to.
it. Go on.
Oh man, it's gonna hit you different. Like
Mhm.
when she gets that orb out of her body and puts it into his, you're talking about years and years and years of training, built
Mhm.
up that energy and put it into his body. He is in pain. He can't take that. He
Mm.
eventually does, but it's a lot for him to take all that power.
Well, the thing is,
So
I
yeah,
think.
it's
Yeah, sorry to cut you off, but I think it's that in the
no, you're good.
in the Netflix show, what happens like
Mhm.
we're assuming that she's just giving her power, but we don't understand that it's her years of combative abilities that's going into him. So there's
Yeah.
that distinction too. They don't
Yeah.
they don't clarify it correctly in the show. We're just assuming, oh, she has big spirit energy. She gets it to Yusuke. Boom, he's super strong now. He can go super at this
Yep.
point.
And
But
that's
yeah, let's go on.
yep, and that's what they should have. Yeah, no, that's what they should have did as far as like the training wise. In Genkai, I hate that we only got a little bit to see Genkai because she's way more than that. Like Genkai, I would put Genkai as far as like mentor wise.
Mm-hmm.
And that's another topic we need to do, by the way. Side
Yep.
note. But Genkai is definitely one of those mentors to where like Kakashi Jiraiya level to where she is a mainstay type character. She is a key player with how Yusuke is using that spirit gun.
So technically, she should have been around for
again,
longer
with the
then, if I understand this correctly.
way longer.
Way
Way
longer,
longer.
man.
Mm.
Way longer. Now I get it. It's a show. They had 5 episodes. They had to.
I wonder if that was like the mandate from Netflix. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
there's 5
They
episodes.
did
They
what they
couldn't
could.
show like everything.
Yeah. They did what they could, but I
Mhm.
just wish it was a little bit. Give me 9, 10.
All right.
So we could
Fairly
flesh this
noted.
stuff out a little
Yep.
bit more. Another problem were the 3 objects, right?
Right.
Mhm.
So if you remember in the beginning, the Hiei, that one red demon, and Kurama, they had those 3 objects.
Right.
So in the beginning, we take care of that. We're getting those objects still in the ending. That's like Toguro wise level, like Toguro ending. We don't see those objects anymore. That's been over and done with. So that's another problem I had with like
So
the
you're saying
timelines being
you're
all
saying
out
the
of whack
object.
because
No, but if I understand correctly, you're saying the objects should have been more of a MacGuffin or more into play in the show than instead of like not seeing them anymore, right?
so
More so in like
it-
the beginning, because they literally don't even like
we don't even
exist.
touch those
Like,
anymore.
yeah, we don't touch them at all. Like to girl
Like
eyes.
the characters, yeah. So like the characters, they don't even. They're so above that. They don't even touch that anymore. And when we get to the tournament, well, honestly, if I'm being honest with y'all, I didn't even realize we were in the tournament.
It just started.
I thought
They just jumped into
I
it.
thought Yusuke, right? I thought Yusuke and Kuwabara went over to the mansion to rescue Yukina, and I thought that was gonna be a sole mission. I didn't know they were gonna implement that whole tournament.
Yeah, they held that one too. The Yukina rescue arc, that should have been longer too. That should have been longer
Well, I mean, it's just a
too.
rescue. I don't know
But
what more
yeah,
they could
it's-
have added, but that's
Yeah.
my personal opinion. But I get your criticism, guys. I agree. It could have been more fleshed out. More episodes would have been great because then you give more time to the characters and their motives and fleshing out more the lore too. I think the thing about the lore also is like it's good. It's stuff we've already seen before anyway. But like I feel like they kind of put Yusuke at a very interesting predicament spot where they're just like, okay, well, you're gonna be our spirit detective and you're gonna go out hunt those demons that are escaping from hell and put them back in. And I'm like, out of everyone that dies, why would they choose him? And granted, I know he was not meant to die because that was due to the interference of that demon. But
Right.
Mhm.
I find the choice to be very interesting because I'm like, he's just a delinquent. Why would you choose him to be your guy? But that's just me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it makes
Yeah.
sense.
do you guys think
I
that?
mean, broken box.
Go on, yeah. Broken box? What does that mean?
He can definitely box. Yeah,
Oh,
I
box, yeah,
definitely
okay.
would have picked him too.
Ah, okay. So they're pretty much looking for a good fighter, someone who can at least like stand up to bigger opponents, eh? If I had to guess, that
Potential.
probably is the job description.
Yeah, pretty
Right.
much.
Right.
Okay, cool. So then, how do you guys feel about the lore? Do you think they fleshed it out very good within this 5 episode condensed?
I think for somebody who hasn't seen the anime, you get the gist of what's going on.
Yeah,
You get the
I
gist
think
of
for
the
me
spirit
Yeah.
world,
it was
the
just
demon
enough.
world.
hmm Although I kind of wish we did
Yeah,
go into
so-
the demon world and see more of what happens there,
Mhm.
but maybe that might be later on.
Oh yeah. That's way
this-
later
this-
on.
Yeah, way later. This definitely needed a few more episodes. Because honestly, if we got a few more episodes, I don't even think I could make the rushed argument like at all. But you know, it is what it is, man. Yeah, it's pretty good for what they had.
So, question then for the guy, I forgot his name, but the one of the antagonists who's trying to make that hole so that in the hell that the demons could come out.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
So his arc is interesting, but he kind of gets like what's it called, offed already within
Yeah.
within like the 5 episodes that we see. And I'm like, I feel like he had more to do with the show because I got like no backstory behind him. Like, why is he doing this? Like, why is he trying to make all the demons come out and escape into the real world? Because like I understand that they were part of the world but until they got separated, but like, why is he doing this? What's his motivation? Like, what does he want out of this? I kind of didn't get that from him, at least.
Got you. So with that specific character, he's sort of kind of still a mystery. Like we don't really get why
What's his name
he-
again? Do you know his name again?
he's doing. I believe his name is Sakio.
Sakio. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
I believe it's Sakio. Yep. Like he's a mysterious character, but you don't understand him as a like an actual person. You just know he's like these big time billionaires who just
dudes.
wants to
Cause
do,
chaos, pretty much.
Oh,
yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah. So his plan, what he's trying to do, it'll actually piggy bank off of another character in the next arc, which is crazy because I like how they did that in the anime, but in the show, it's kind of like how they did the same thing with the anime. So yeah, he's still a mystery. He's still, you don't really understand his background completely. So it's the same.
Okay, so it's just the same. There's nothing for me. It felt like I was kind of missing something, but as you guys said, put it out. It's like he's just a guy who just does it for the sake of doing it. He's like, I just wanna. It's kind of like Joker. He's like, I want to
Yeah.
see the world burn. I'm like,
Some men just want to watch the world burn.
I'm bored. He's like, that's it.
Pretty much.
Just a rich dude.
Yeah, gotcha. And I'm surprised they killed him off quick in the show. I would have kept him around just to like, be the antagonist who keeps like keeps doing some bad shit so that our heroes have to like go and stop him and whatnot. I would have kept him around personally
Yeah.
myself, but that's just me. You guys
Just
got
keep him making up plans,
yeah, that's it.
like a Dr. Eggman type shit.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, eventually he would get his due, like he would have died at one point, but I was like, oh, that's very short-lived. But I get it.
Yeah.
They made that bet, it's like, oh, if my guy wins, I die, and if your guy wins, then you die,
Yeah.
That was the deal. And Koima's kind of started sweating. He's like, "Oh my god, we're putting all of our hope and faith into Yusuke."
Not a great plan.
Yeah,
Yep.
Yo,
it could have
literally,
gone sideways. I'm
it-
just saying.
It intensifies when you watch the anime.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I felt
Yeah.
the stakes for sure. It's like, okay, well, it rides on these two, like between Toguro and Yusuke. Whoever falls down, well, they lose, and then the winner, of course, gets his prize. Well, gets his wish, whatever he wanted. Cool. You guys got any other negatives? I have one other thing too.
No,
When you meet
Nah.
when you meet the Toguro siblings, I know they look exactly like in the anime, but I don't know why
Yep.
when you get your first introduction, it just looks so weird, man. Because big boy Toguro, I think he's the younger brother, right? He shows up. He's all
Yeah.
big and
Yeah.
swole and muscular, and then there's this older brother who's like just chilling on his like shoulder and back. He's just
Mhm.
like, I don't know why. I found that image to be so weird. It's like the guy's like, hey bro, you cold, man? It's like, nah, bro, you good? You're warming me up. I feel fine. I found it weird too, but they were formidable though. Especially the big brute. He was very
Portrayed like Elder Toguro is like super creepy, like
super
demonic,
creepy,
bro. It's like I'm telling you, like
lanky.
I got uncomfortable when I saw
Yeah.
him do some of the things he did. Like when I think Kuwabara like swung the sword at him and he like made his head go
Yeah,
down.
he
and I
had the
was
creep
like, bro,
factor. He
that's
definitely had the creep
disgusting.
factor.
That's crazy. Yeah,
But
for
just
sure. That's nightmare fuel right there.
But just seeing the pair together too, I'm just like, that looks weird. What is this? I'm like, why are you
Yeah.
chilling? Why are you chilling on the shoulder and back? Get down on the ground.
Mhm. For
That was me.
sure.
But
well, yeah. One of the
go on.
one of the positives about the show was definitely Toguro or the Toguro brothers, but definitely
Yeah,
the
both of
younger
them for
Toguro.
me.
You remember when he had that? I think he was like flicking air because he was like so strong.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. When I was talking about when he went for Keiko.
Yeah, so they actually did that in the anime. I was like, oh, okay, this is dope how they did that.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
love that.
That's good.
So,
Yeah,
yeah,
no, the
they
fighting was
definitely-
justice for sure. They did justice on the fighting, but like, I like the part where all of our members pretty much had to gang up on him, and even then, he was just flicking them off. Like
Yeah, they were
nothing.
jumping him.
Yeah,
They were
exactly.
jumping,
He was
bro.
jumping,
That was insane.
and he's like, get
They were
off
jumping
me.
the hell out of him, man. That was crazy. I loved watching that part.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Yeah, y'all. So I didn't like it.
You
Really?
didn't?
Didn't like it. I
Dang.
didn't like it.
Me personally, I like fighting and stuff like that. So like seeing somebody get jumped is kind of like it already adds a plus
So
to me.
T, wait,
Like-
T. If you get into a fight, you're gonna ask your friends to jump them, right?
Yeah, we jumping them.
Oh my.
Hey, good kid, pull up. We jumping them.
Hey, I'm a ride or die, but yeah,
Yeah.
that I like the one-on-one aspect of this show because it really fleshes out the character's powers. Like you
Mm.
see it with Hiei, of how the darkness of the shadow dragon or the darkness flame, whatever. I screwed that name up, but y'all know the gist of what. I'm
Yeah,
saying.
for sure.
Of with Kurama and Karasu where they were fighting. Like I like one-on-one fights like that. Now, with how it went down, Yusuke would have been dead if not for them coming together like that.
True,
Mhm.
true, yeah.
But
Because I think Yusuke was the first one to enter and fight off Toguro, right?
With
And then-
Toguro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he got
he was getting beat.
exactly. He got beat. He went straight to the wall. His back is all cracked and everything. It's like shit. I'm about to die. And then if they had not gotten involved, he would have been dead for sure. So, but I understand the one-on-one
yeah,
Yeah.
fight also because like you said, it shows each person's prowess, abilities of combat, and
Mhm.
also it shows honor. Like you understand it's just me and you, and no one else gonna get involved. Unlike T here, who wants to like bring back up.
Yeah, jump them
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
But like you can definitely make an argument for jumping because like think about it. If 3 of the main characters are jumping the antagonist and they're losing, dude's got to be a monster. He's got to be a problem. If like 3 of the strongest people in the show at that point are jumping this dude and doing absolutely -1 to his health bar, that's an issue. That's an issue. It just hypes up the stakes. Like, okay, this dude is definitely somebody to be messed with. He's not one of your typical goers on the street.
Right. So I had another point that I completely
Yeah, no problem. Go
forgot.
on.
So if y'all remember, Kurama turned into the white wolf demon.
Yeah.
So he kind of just popped up like that. Now he did say that, all right, there's another entity that I'm trying to hide. Like I wasn't what I used to be back then. But you see in the other show, you see, okay, this is why he's doing this, and you see Hiei just pulled up with the Dragon of the Darkness Flame already. This dude had to fight for it, like to get that shit. So with Kuwabara, I just wish, again, I just wish they would implement a little bit more of how they got the techniques and the powers.
Yeah, because didn't he have to fight in like it was how he got the spirit sword? Didn't he have to like fight some dude, and it was like the stress and anxiety of like almost losing kicked it in?
Yeah, so they did show it in this show, but I just need to see that spirit sword a little bit more.
Okay, I agree.
Yeah, we'll bring it out maybe like.
Well, when Hiei used his finishing move with the Black Dragon, right? I didn't question so much on how he got it. The way I thought in my head is like, okay, so this is his last gambit. If his finishing move does not kill his opponent, then he's out. He's gonna die here. So I get your complaint that we didn't get to see how he got that, because again, there's probably another arc they probably skipped over and everything. So I guess I was perfectly fine with it, because I just assumed it was an ultimate weapon that he had under his arsenal. And so he's just gonna use.
No, that's completely fair.
Because at the same time,
fair.
there's kind of like a recoil damage, like a backlash to him too. No, if he uses it, like his arm was like burnt out or something. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So
like he has to he has to wrap his arm up after he uses that move. Like it's bad for him.
But it always stays wrapped up, so that means as soon as he unwraps it, it just comes out, right? Or it just activates.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you guys have any other positive or negative points that you want to go over? Something you missed?
No, I think I'm good. Yeah, honestly.
Yeah. I kind of wish we got more backstory on Hiei and what's his name, Kurama. Like Kurama, we did get a bit.
Oh, you will. You definitely will.
More, yeah. Well, it depends if Netflix will continue it. For sure, I would probably get it. But then I guess you were telling me to get back to try to check out the anime, and you probably get more backstory there. Yeah, so maybe because of the shortage of the show and the pacing, it had to be condensed then. But I would love to see more backstory on them. One thing also, so about Hiei's sister, what's her name? Yukina. Her tears, right? Apparently, a lot of people go after her tears because it's like, why? Is it because it's rare, or does it have any monetary value to it? Is it treasure? Like, what's the deal behind that?
Yeah,
that's one thing the show didn't go over either.
Yeah, so when they locked her up because Tarukane, that was that old crime boss or whatever, he locked her up because whenever she cries, her tears solidify into pearls. So he's using that to sell off, and he wants more money. Basically, that's it.
So okay, so it's just money. Like you trade the tears for money.
It's a money thing. Yep.
How does one determine that shit? Like I don't understand. Like is there like a underground market for that thing, where maybe the anime explores that more, but like I just didn't understand that in the show.
I'm sure it is. Like I believe only he wanted that. Again, it was just like the money reasons. I don't understand. I don't know if she's the only person that does that, but yeah, he just wanted the money aspect out of it. He didn't really care about anything else but that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, well, that's it. They didn't explain that too, but this show, I like that they're trying to ship Kuwabara and her together. They do probably make a good couple. I would like to see that future season if we ever get to that too. But one thing I want to say is that for Kuwabara, he didn't get a win a moment in the tournament arc. You know what I'm saying? Like each of our members defeated their
Mhm.
opponent, their adversary, whereas Kuwabara, I was hoping for a shining moment for him too. Did you guys feel like that was kind of disappointing that Kuwabara didn't get that too?
I mean, yeah, I can definitely see where you're coming from. It feels like he kind of just ran into the room and Elder Toguro pulled up like, "Hey, I'm still here."
Yeah.
But I mean, like, if it would have been a situation, cool. I mean, technically, he killed Elder Toguro, but he obviously just came back. So I think that's kind of like a little win because he learned how to use his spirit sword and stuff more like that. And I think it was Keiko. She was like, "Have you had that the whole time?" He was like, "Yeah, so what?" Like, bro.
Yeah.
Oh man, but yeah, I definitely think that little win of him at least thinking that he killed her, I think that could possibly be a win.
I think so, but if they
Just a little one, not a huge one, but just a little one.
yeah, but for me, it would have solidified the win if Elder had just died by his like sword instead of coming
Yeah.
back to life. And
Yeah, for sure.
joining his brother.
For
and
sure.
everything. I can't forget. How did Elder die?
Yeah,
How
I
did he-
definitely see it. I definitely see it like that too.
How did the Elder Toguro die again? I'm kind of blanking out too now.
The younger Toguro grabbed him and he was like, "You're in the way," and he like punched him to some beach in like Cuba or
What?
something like that.
So
Yeah.
So if you,
Yeah.
so do y'all remember that last segment when he was still alive?
yeah, kind of.
Yep.
Okay.
When the
yeah,
seagulls
like-
like pecking at him, he was like, "Move,
Yep.
bro, move."
Yep. So
Mhm.
he's definitely going to be another major key player in the next arc.
Oh, so he's not dead anyway. Okay, gotcha.
No.
Mm. He should be though.
be.
Realistically, he should be.
He should be.
What about this? What did you guys think of the last moment between what's it called, Genkai and Toguro? Because remember, they were kind of like former students, right, under the same master.
Yeah,
and then-
student teacher. I liked it.
Yeah. So
That's one part I actually really did like.
they played that right.
Yeah,
I had no problems
Mhm.
with that.
because
Pretty accurate.
the backstory
Yeah,
between
pretty accurate.
yeah, so because the backstory between Toguro is because like when the demon came and killed off all of his classmates, I guess, in the entire school, he wasn't strong enough to defend them, right? And so with Yusuke, I think it was more.
Yeah, that was a tough scene to watch.
Well, they did. Well, that's the thing. They did it good because they couldn't show you the whole brutality and massacre of it, right? So you understand that. But I think it's just that for him, it was kind of like retribution. Like it was like a test with Yusuke to see if he had the will to like save the ones he loved, where he failed too. That's kind of what I took away. Do you guys also feel the same, or was it like different for you?
Yeah, no, I definitely feel the same because Genkai was like, "Oh, haven't you atoned enough?" And he just kind of walked by her. He's like, "Nope,
I still got
no, I
deserve
haven't."
this.
So I definitely, I definitely deserve this. Whatever's coming next, I definitely deserved it. I did not live a great life at all. So whatever's coming next, I definitely am ready for it. But I love that conversation. I love the scenery too. That's one of the scenery moments where it's like, man, that's nice because you see the stairs going down and then just the entire portal, like how it's kind of serene at the top and chaotic at the bottom. That's one of the like set choices where it's like, okay, live action, you did it.
Yeah.
So
I did like.
No, sorry.
the
So
settings
does that mean
of
technically
the
he
show.
he was already sent to like heaven, but he chose to go down to hell? You know how he's walking down from upstairs to downstairs? In that
I think he had an option to whether, all right, you can either go up here or down here.
Wow.
And
he chose
I don't know.
down there. I want to say, because I mean, he was definitely, if you want to say it, he definitely was in heaven. I mean, Genkai was there, and I don't think Genkai was a bad person. So he definitely chose that. And plus, even when you like see him walk down, you can see like the trail kind of disappear after him. Like you're not coming back up here if you go down there.
Yeah, because it goes
So you
down
can
to the
definitely make
abyss.
that point. He's like making the choice. He's kind of in limbo, making the choice. Yeah. So I'd probably see it as like he's making the choice to go down there and try to keep atoning for his sins.
Yeah. Well, for all we know,
Yeah. So this
for all
is
we know,
reminding me of Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, go on. Yeah. No, I was gonna say for all
Oh,
we
my
know.
bad. This reminded me of Dragon Ball Z.
No, go on, good kid. I'm gonna stop interrupting. Go
Oh,
on.
my bad. I'm sorry.
It's
I'll keep
okay.
cutting you off. Come on.
No, I'm like, no.
Okay, no, you're good. So this,
I'll wait for you. I'll wait for you.
Reminded me
Yeah.
of like Dragon Ball Z when
Snake
you're
way.
good when Vegeta sacrificed himself and he told Piccolo, he was like, "So
where you think I'm going?
am I going to heaven?"
Yeah.
But before you go, tell me, You think I'll see Kakarot when I die?
What, like in heaven? Because. No.
Okay, fuck you.
And Piccolo was like, "Man, fam, do you realize the
Yeah,
stuff
bro.
that you've been doing to us?"
If I was Piccolo, I
You're
would
doing
have
to
laughed,
everybody
bro.
else.
Because there ain't no
You're
way
not
you just
doing-
asked me that question. Not me.
Right.
Mm-mm. Demon
Yeah.
Demon King Piccolo? Nah, brother.
No,
Nah,
I
brother.
mean,
You're going down. You're
Nah.
going down, bro.
But here's the thing, Piccolo, if he was honest, he would have answered Vegeta, bruh, I think I have a better chance of going to heaven than you do.
Oh
Facts.
yeah, for sure.
Because at the time, Piccolo was kind of reformed too. You know, he's like,
Yeah, Piccolo for sure reformed. And plus, he took on like the Guardian of the Earth title pretty soon after. So it was like, yeah, bro.
Well, here's the thing
You're,
too. Here's the thing
Your
too.
spot's guaranteed, but Vegeta, you going down.
Yeah, but what I was gonna say is that to be honest, we're not sure if Toguro, if he had tried to climb up to heaven, would they have let him too? For all we know, there could have been a barrier and he couldn't go there. So it's a good question. Like I don't know, it felt weird, but the scenery was great. I agree. Like it reminded me kind of like Snake Way or like Comet's Lookout. Like
Yep.
it was superb. But yeah, I'm glad they had that talk and they kind of had the resolution. And he knew what was coming at the end too. It was like, yo, once I die, I'm probably have to go down there because like I sold my soul for more power anyway. So that's where it came to me. All right, so let me ask you guys this too. I kind of covered this in the One Piece anime discussion, the Netflix live action. Seeing how Netflix has done a great job with One Piece, a not so good job with Cowboy Bebop, and a so far okay job with Yu Yu Hakusho. How do you guys feel about the live action adaptation of Avatar: The Last Airbender by Netflix? Do you think that
I'm gonna love it.
Oh, okay, go ahead. Talk about it.
I'm gonna love it. I love everything about Avatar. Look, because I know they learned from the earlier mess up that was the previous like live action movie that they tried to do, and I know they learned from it. Like I think that's actually gonna.
Well, remember
the live action Avatar. Just seeing like some of the.
Yeah, go on.
Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, remember, we're looking at Netflix track record also on their live action adaptation. They're 1-for-1, right? For at least with Cowboy Bebop and One Piece, and for Yu Yu Hakusho, it is so. So how confident are we that Netflix would deliver Avatar: The Last Airbender justice?
I'm confident.
You're that confident?
I'm pretty confident.
You guys seen the trailer already, eh? What do you guys think?
Yep, 100%.
Yeah,
I'm pretty confident. It's like I was saying before, you can't really mess it up because you've messed it up before, and you can't have two. You can't have two Dragon Ball Evolution.
No, God, please, no.
Like one of them's got to hit. Definitely one of them's got to hit. So I think this is the one that they actually put time and effort into. And plus with the trajectory of like One Piece live action and Yu Yu Hakusho live action, I think they're going to be like, all right, we literally can't mess this up. Because like I was saying earlier, a lot of people got put on to One Piece because of the live action. A lot of people got put on to Yu Yu Hakusho. Like this is their first experience of Yu Yu Hakusho. So if they can do the Avatar live action correctly, I think Avatar is going to get an influx of fans.
Well, I know the core fan base group are to go and check it out, but I think for Netflix they want to attract new fans, I guess, to new people to watch the show too.
Yeah.
Even though those people have seen the live action, remember the movie M. Night Shyamalan's kind of atrocity, as I like to call it, but hopefully it'll be okay. What do you think, Good Kid? Like, what's your take?
No, like y'all said, I'm pretty comfortable in how they're gonna make this movie. They've researched and they've done enough to show that all right, we can't F up this movie franchise again. Or the show again. Like, yeah, it looks very promising with the trailer that they gave us. And they actually gave us like native people for these tribes, and I love that. So I have a good feeling that this movie is gonna.
I think it's gonna be great.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I've known that I've been looking into this. Of course, the casting has been so far on point. Like, I don't know if you recognize some of the actors, but they're from like some of my favorite shows, and like these are my favorite actors. They're like are also portraying certain characters. Like what's his name? Uncle Iroh is by
Yep.
the actor who's also in Kim's Convenience. I don't know if you guys watched that show too, but great casting.
Mm.
Like it's been very on point. It's very like in tune with the race and the age and whatnot, so it's perfect. And I was kind of waiting to see the trailer before I can maybe be sway my needle to see where I land. And after seeing the trailer, it looks pretty good. CGI looks okay. CGI looks pretty good. Action looks pretty good. Costume looks great. I'm fairly optimistic. Like my expectations are pretty high, but at the same time, I don't want to keep it too high where I'm like, I find that the show becomes disappointing to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, remember, like the creators behind Avatar, the original creators, they left the Netflix adaptation when they were working on that consulting. So that threw fans into a whole loop. They're like, what the hell happened? What made them want to leave? And eventually, maybe later down the line, we'll hear that. But at the moment, it was a dark day in history when they left during that time. So I'm still fairly optimistic, and I'm pretty sure Netflix will do the show justice. And if it's great, then I think Netflix has a good grasp on their anime live action adaptation. I'd say.
For sure. For sure.
Cool. So do you guys have any last points before I wrap up this episode?
No, I think
I will.
I'm good. Go ahead.
I
Ellis.
will. Yeah, I
You can
will
give your
say
final
if
score
you have
ratings.
not.
Yeah.
So yeah, so like I said in the beginning, I give this a 6.5 with the way overall it went down. But if you have not watched the anime version, for anybody that's listening, if you haven't watched the anime, I highly recommend you go watch that because there's some specific important arcs in there that when you see, you can be like, oh, okay, I get it. That's why this was done this way. So yeah, highly recommend.
Oh, I'm good. I'm fine. I got
Okay.
nothing else to say.
You don't want to give the score to you? Like, I guess for Good Kid, it didn't change his
Oh,
rating.
yeah.
Or
I give it like a 6.
a 6
I
out
give
of
it like
10?
a 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, a hard 6.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I think this show is very good. I mean, for me, it's good. Like for someone who has not watched the Yu Yu Hakusho anime and just goes into the live action adaptation, I give this a 7 out of 10 for me. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And for our audience who are listening, if you have not seen the Yu Yu Hakusho anime or live action or anything, I'd say maybe get into the live action adaptation first, like watch that, and then go into the anime and see how the anime should have been and what they missed and what more they could have done. And I mean, they'll get the full experience on watching the anime than just the live action adaptation. So I thoroughly enjoyed myself. I hope to see more of season 2. Maybe I hope if they continue, we get to see season 2. Are you guys also looking forward to season 2? If I may ask.
Yeah. If they, my main thing is if they fix their pacing problem and actually, treat everything in the next season like it should be treated and give everything the adequate time that it needs, then yeah, I could definitely see myself being excited for
Agreed.
season 2.
Yep, agreed. More episodes.
Yeah. Yep.
Go on. Yeah.
Yep. Same. The next arc. Yeah. So the next arc is going to be called Chapter Black, and with the fight scenes, from what I've seen from these fight scenes in this season 1, oh man, I can't wait till they do that live action.
All right, cool. So that's it for today's episode. Thank you guys for joining us. I want to give a big shout out to Actual Anime Podcast, the members Good Kid and T. Thank you so much for joining. I really had a great time discussing Yu Yu Hakusho with you guys, and I got more insight onto the show too. Greatly appreciated. So for everyone listening, like I said, you can catch our episodes on most podcast platforms. So we are on Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts. Google Podcasts and Apple Podcasts, and of course catch us on YouTube, the Otaku Crew. Please subscribe and like our video if you catch that, and we'll put all the links in our description too. I'll also put your guys' links also in the description whenever we get close to.
Okay, appreciate it, man.
When we get close to airing out the episode. So thanks so much for coming in. I had a great time discussing. So Appreciate it. You guys any
Yeah,
final,
no, for sure. It was good.
You guys any final plugs you want to put in?
No, Actual Anime Podcast. You can catch us on YouTube, Google Podcasts, Anchor, Spotify, all that good stuff. Talk about anime, manga, gaming, debates. We argue a lot, so yeah, that's your stuff, man. Head on over.
Nice. I think Good Kid's quiet because he went back to go watching Yu Yu Hakusho.
No,
Yeah,
I'm
facts.
still here.
That we're watching right now.
Yeah, good kid _ gameplays. If you don't have me on Instagram, I also have my own YouTube channel for strictly gaming playthroughs, gaming discussion, gaming news,
Tekken gameplay.
So yeah, Tekken gameplay, live streams. So yeah, we are all about it.
All right, cool. Thanks, guys again, once again for joining. We appreciate it, and we'll catch you all guys in the next episode. Take care.
Yeah, man.
All right,
See ya.
deuces.